Goodness gracious. There's trash all over the floor in here. What a mess. Got all these books. Currently, 3 books we've been going through. The Essence of Buddha, High Output Management, oldie but classic, and the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Lots of fun. Here's all the books we have to go through. You see? Haven't read these yet. Haven't read these yet. We'll get to them eventually. But now, it's time for a little coffee, or more appropriately, little tea. We're having a little tea today. Been trying to get off caffeine a little bit. Whenever I came back from Vegas, I had to quarantine for a few days, so I was off of all coffee. Getting off of all coffee made it... Well, I was off of all coffee because I was stuck in the bedroom, and I didn't want to deal with having to ask my wife to bring me coffee. So I figured, I'll get off it. So I was off of it. I've had probably 4 cups of coffee since then. 4 cups of coffee in about, 2 weeks? So not that often. I try to use it very sparingly. Had one when I played online yesterday. Oh man, online yesterday was one of those days where it could have been great. I took 10th place in an $800 tournament that started with like 400 people. So almost good. And I took 6th place in a $100 tournament that started with 2,000 people. That was almost good. Turned a little profit on the day. Almost good day. Had some shots. Lost a big flip in the $100 one to take 6th. Obviously, I'm sure I spiked on people all along the way. That's how tournaments go. Sometimes you run hot, sometimes you don't. So anyway, I had a cup of coffee yesterday. Had 2 cups of coffee the other day whenever I was doing the Down the Ground with Doug Polk stream with Jeff Platt for GG Poker. That was a lot of fun. Good morning. This weekend, Kelly again shipped $8,000 in the $88 game, and Galen shipped $2,000. Oh my gosh. Nice job. Good work. Louis Philippe, you got to start getting a piece of all these people. Maybe that's what we need to do with poker coaching. Make everything free, but just take a piece of everybody's profits. Nice job. $8,000 in the 88 and $2,000 in the 16. Good job. Good work. We have a poker coaching study group, by the way. It happens Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. in the poker coaching Discord. Make sure you get there in the study sessions. Louis Philippe is in charge. He is doing great work, and everyone is crushing it. All right, today, I actually wasn't going to talk about this, but about 100 people have asked me this question. Literally, 100 people have asked me this question. Are you playing the World Series of Poker main event? And then when the answer is no, they're like, why wouldn't you play the World Series of Poker main event? First things first, what is the World Series of Poker main event in this COVID time? Everybody thought it was a while back, whenever it was previously. Who knows when it was? A while back. And apparently that was not true. Now they had a World Series of Poker main event happening today. But again, at the end of the day, what do you really care about? What are you trying to accomplish, right? So, I'll give you the long story short of why I did not play. First things first, I live in New York. I'd have to travel to New Jersey to play, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal. I actually live on the east side of Manhattan. New Jersey's on the far west side of Manhattan. It takes like an hour and a half to get there, longer than you would think. I actually had a ride lined up. One of my friends said, I'll pick you up at the doorstep. All I gotta do is get in the car and we'll go. Which is actually like a pretty sweet deal. I didn't have that sweet deal lined up until literally the day before. Normally I have to go across town to meet him to go somewhere. We go to New Jersey together sometimes. So that travel was, I thought it was more difficult than it was, but that's already a little pain in the rump. Number 2, it's hard to deposit money onto WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. I do not have an account on WorldSeriesOfPoker.com in New Jersey, as far as I know. Maybe I did. I know in the past I tried to play from Borgata, and it wouldn't let me play because other people were in Borgata also playing. They have funny geolocation rules. It's a hassle, right? That said, I think it's easy enough to deposit. I think the maximum you can deposit in a day is like $8K per day or something. Nate says maybe they just changed it to $10K. I don't know. Maybe they changed it to fix this problem, but that's another pain point, right? So I knew I'd have to make an account. I don't even know if you can make an account from New York. I guess you probably can. Make an account, deposit 8K, deposit a few more K the next day. It's just like a pain, right? It's a pain. Next. if I go with my friend and we both want to play and we're in the same hotel, there's a chance it won't let us play if we're using the same Wi-Fi, which is fine. I'm smart enough to know to use my phone, right? I don't know if you can use your phone. I know Galen Hall, poker player, posted on Twitter. You'd think you would have solved these issues by now. Apparently he went, probably stayed in a nice hotel like Borgata or somewhere. Other people in Borgata were playing, clearly. And it wouldn't let him play. So went to New Jersey, doesn't get to play. That's pretty annoying. Could you imagine if I spent all this time getting up, going to New Jersey, depositing money, and don't get to play? It's like, it's a pain, right? It's a pain. Next, their software is not especially great. Faraz Jocko was posting about problems with their software yesterday. That's like another problem, right? Just one more thing. And then finally, if you win the thing, actually, not even if you win. If you final table, you got to get up and you have to go to Vegas. I mean, look, I'm fine going to Vegas. I just went to Vegas to film Poker After Dark. Did you guys see my strategy segment in Poker After Dark yesterday? Let me know what you thought. You can watch that on Poker Go. Go to pokergo.com, watch the most recent episode of Poker After Dark. I'm going to be having strategy segments in many of the Poker After Dark episodes this season. Plus, I get to play in a few episodes in the near future, so that's a lot of fun. Anyway, went to a fun hand where Ben Lamb turned the nuts and opted to check it, and then check call, and then opted to check it on the river, and then check raise. Cool spot, right? We discussed why he would possibly do that. Surprised I don't have an office in New Jersey. Why in the world would I have an office in New Jersey? That makes literally no sense. Literally none. You know how much it costs to get an office? A few $100 a month for a cheap one? What's the point? What's the point? I'm not going to New Jersey to play random tournaments. Okay, so fine. First things first. It's a pain to go play the game to begin with. Okay? It's a pain to go play the game to begin with. Number 2. Do I care about winning the World Series of Poker main event? Look, I like the World Series of Poker. I have nothing against them. But they have, in my opinion, my humble opinion, which may or may not actually matter to most people, they have diminished their brand substantially. They had all sorts of online events. Even before this, they started having random small buy-in events. They have a ton of events. It's just like, as you print more of something, it is worth less and less per unit, right? And this year, they effectively printed 2 World Series of Poker main events, champions instead of 1, which is already like, come on, you know? It's like, come on. It feels bad, you know? It's almost like they make you feel bad for having this accolade. And the question is, should you even be chasing accolades to begin with? What's the purpose? Does Jonathan Little want or care about accolades at this point in his career? And I mean, like, sure, I guess. But if you think about the math of this, say 1,500 people played the main event, this 10K, which I think is roughly what it was. Half in America, half elsewhere. Say I'm really good. Say I'm going to win the tournament twice as often as everybody else. So I'm 1 in 700 or so to win this thing. Is it worth it for me to essentially wreck my weekend and Monday, my Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, or my Sunday and Monday, for a 1 in 700 chance to be the main event champion in this weird online time where a lot of people aren't even going to care about it because it's a random online tournament? Again, not trying to sound negative towards World Series. I like everything they do. Is that worth it for me at this point? And I think the answer is just no. I would rather stay at home, enjoy my Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with my family. I have a poker coaching webinar starting 10 a.m. If I made day 2 of the World Series, that would have messed up that a little bit, right? It's just like a pain, you know? It's just like a lot of pain associated with going to play the game. And from a prestige point of view, it's just effectively not worth it, in my opinion. What about from the monetary point of view? You may say, well, don't you want to go make some money? Sure, I like making money. Whenever I go play poker now, if you all know, when I go to travel to play poker, it is to play a lot of buy-ins. I looked at the World Series schedule. There's really not a whole lot of buy-ins you can even play. 1 10K tournament, and then a few random side things. So let's say you're going to play the 1 10K tournament. Let's say we think I have 30% ROI, okay? Let's say I have 30% ROI. It means I'm going to make $3,000 minus, let's say, I don't know, $600 in expenses, means you make $2,400 in 2 days. $1,200 a day. Is that worth it? It's not bad. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I think when I play online regularly, half a day on Sundays, I think I'm probably making $2,500 or so per day doing that, roughly. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Whatever. It's more than 1,200, right? 2,400, 2,000, whatever is clearly more than 1,200. And there's no friction at all. It's easy, right? So I'd rather do this easy thing that's going to result in no prestige, but I make more money doing it, twice as much money doing it. Or I'd rather get up, lose Sunday and Monday to win half as much money and have a 1 in 700 chance of winning the tournament. 1 in 70 chance of final tabling, roughly. Again, that's assuming I'm really good, which I'm probably not even that good. Assuming twice as good as the average player, which, it's kind of hard to be. So, it's just like, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's important to understand, well, first things first, you can do whatever you want, right? I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad for whatever decisions they make. But it's important to weigh the things that you could be doing and that you pick the decision that makes the most sense for you, both in terms of dollar equity and happiness equity. And I can already tell you, getting up early in the morning on Sunday to go to New Jersey, to go to a random hotel, to hope the software functions properly, to play a tournament that's going to take 3 days, one of which, if I do good well, I have to get up and I have to fly to Vegas. That's going to take time too. This is all a lot. Now, of course, making the final table, I'm sure that is valuable. Valuable for me in terms of marketing. They added $1 million to the prize pool. That's worth $750 a person, I think. No? 600 something bucks a person. Whatever, call it $700 a person. Fine, that's nice. That's nice, right? So instead of making $2,400, maybe we make $3,100, $1,500 a day. Still less than the regular day, right? So, is it worth it? I just don't think it is. I don't think it is. Some things you just don't need in your life. I remember whenever I first started skipping World Poker Tour tournaments. Y'all may not know this. I was the World Poker Tour Player of the Year. See that trophy? You can't even see it. Here, I'll get it. I'll bring it down. All right. Let's see. You see this thing? This is the World Poker Tour Player of the Year trophy, okay? You know how you get Player of the Year trophies? You put it in an immense amount of volume. Doesn't fit. Oh. It doesn't fit. It only goes on the top. You win Player of the Year trophies by putting in an immense amount of volume. That's how you win Player of the Year in anything. Or you just run ungodly hot. I can't really count on running ungodly hot, but I can count on putting in a lot of volume. So, when I first started skipping World Poker Tour events, I remember they used to all be like $5,000 and $10,000 buy-in tournaments or bigger. I remember when they first made a 5K. There used to be one 5K and a bunch of 10Ks. There was one 5K in in Reno, which I would pretty much always skip because only a 5K. Why would I get up and travel to only a 5K, right? Little did we know what was coming in the future. Then they started making them 3,500s. Then they started making them 2,500s, 1,500s, whatever. They got smaller and smaller. And they started making them re-entry, which often diminishes overall edge per buy-in to some extent. They started making them turbo-y, which takes away the skill advantage. So it just got worse and worse, right? So I started skipping some World Poker Tour events, and it felt bad the first few times. It felt terrible. Kind of like imagine you in your local casino. Imagine they have a big tournament every month. Everybody plays it. That's just the thing to do. Kind of like World Poker Tour, right? They have one big tournament a month. Everybody used to go play it. It was the thing to do. It felt bad skipping that. But why does it feel bad? Why does it really matter if I play or don't play a random tournament? It's because people feel attachment to these things. They feel like this is part of their identity, and if they don't do it, what are they? But does it really matter if you show up and play a random poker tournament? It really doesn't if you think about it. And, I get the idea, you're playing it to make money. But at the same time, What if you could be making more money doing something else? What if you don't care about making money? Realize, who cares if you make money at the end of the day, if you think about it? Like, what do you need money for? To pay for your expenses? To pay for your kids' expenses? Like, what do you need money for? Really think about it. At some point, you don't need any more money. Now, of course, I'm not in that point yet. I'd still like to have some more money. But understand that just because you, in your mind, think you should be doing something doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be doing that thing. Whatever it is. And now I'm talking not just to myself, I'm talking to all of you. I'm sure a lot of you out there do things because you think you're supposed to be doing them. But in reality, you don't have to be doing them. You don't need to be doing them. You just think you need to be doing them. And that will cause you to spend your time, perhaps, quite poorly. Matthew says, smash the like button. If you like this, click like. If you don't like this, go just watch somebody else. Won't offend me. Okay. So what are some other things I do? I'm going to talk to Jonathan Little here, and you can extrapolate onto yourself because I don't know what's going on particularly with you. But what's going on with Jonathan Little that is kind of just like a pure time waste? Well, for me, Magic the Gathering was a big time waste. Now you may say, isn't that a hobby? Isn't it fun? Maybe going to play the poker tournament is fun. And maybe it is. This goes back to happiness equity, right? Like, do you actually derive happiness from doing these things? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I can tell you, I would not particularly enjoy getting up, sitting in a car, going to some hotel room, sitting in the hotel room, sitting in front of online poker, playing 1 or 2 tables at a time, getting back in the car, going home. That's not fun for me. That's the opposite of fun for me. So I knew that would not be fun to go play the World Series main event. It's very different whenever you get up, fly to Vegas, see your friends, go have a party, play some poker. You know, like that's more enjoyable, right? And I get it. And I understand the World Series is doing the best they can do in this COVID time where you don't especially want to be, interacting with lots and lots of humans in person. So I get this. I get what they're doing. I'm not like trying to berate them for anything. I'm just saying that's not particularly what I enjoy, right? And if you're not going to enjoy it, and you're not really going to make a ton of money from it, or you could be making more money from something else, and you don't actually care about the accolade because they're printing them to oblivion, then why would you do it? Because you think you're supposed to do it? That's really it. People think they're supposed to do it. Everybody else is doing it. They got to be right? The thing is, if everybody's jumping off the cliff, should you jump off the cliff? Some people think yes, some people think no. And I would venture to say the answer's probably no, right? The answer's probably no. You may say, don't you want to win the World Series bracelet so you become more well-known? Sure. But 1 in 700 chance if I'm really good, and rally's probably like 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000 chance. You know how often something happens 1 in 1,000 times? Well, 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000 is not a whole lot. That means you can do it every day for 3 years and you expect to get maybe 1, right? It's not a lot. Would I get up and take that trip every single day for 3 years to guarantee a bracelet? I don't think so. Obviously, you're going to make a little bit of money on the deal. I guess if I knew I could make 30% ROI on a 10K every day, I'd make $3,000 a day. I mean, clearly you would just you get a system down to where it wouldn't cost you nearly as much money. You'd figure it all out to where you'd actually it would cost you almost nothing out the door. But like a one-time thing, you incur a lot of expenses, right? If I could guarantee a World Series main event by taking a 4-hour round-trip flight every day for 3 years, let's say I would get paid $100K a year to do it. I guess I would just do it, right? I guess I would do it. It's close though. The fact that it's close makes it feel a whole lot worse, right? Also, there's a lot of variance. I really want to go and know I'm going to lose $10,000 80% of the time, right? Oh man, oh man, man, oh man. I think what all this boils down to though is that you need to figure out what you actually care about, right? Like, what do you actually care about in your life? Go back to Magic the Gathering. I like playing cards. Like the game, like hanging out with some of the people who play. It's fun. It's fun. But that may not be the most important thing at particular stages of your life. For example, whenever I have 2 kids and a wife, all who want to spend time with me, do I really have time to be spending 4 or 6 hours or an overnight trip going to play a children's card game that I enjoy? And the answer is clearly no. That would be overly selfish and detrimental to my other relationships. And you may say, shouldn't you just put yourself first? You can. That's often not how great relationships are formed. That's how you get to do whatever you want. But that's also a great way to not be able to hang out with the people who you necessarily want to hang out with. And so you have to figure out what you actually care about in life. And I know, at this stage in life right now, I need to be very, what's the right word? Strategic with the poker tournament series I get to go play. Why? Because my wife doesn't want me getting up and leaving all the time to go play poker, because she then has to take care of the 2 kids, right? And that puts a strain on her. I get it. She has a lot going on. She's a professional. She's been working like crazy the last month. All these deals are, happening to where like she's busy. My wife's busy. Do I really want to force my wife to watch 2 kids, for me to go get a 1 in 1,000 shot at a bracelet, or even worse, to go play a children's Magic the Gathering card game? Do I really want to force that upon my wife? And the answer is no. That would be incredibly selfish and incredibly dumb. So, don't be incredibly selfish and incredibly dumb. That's sort of an overriding factor here that results in me not going to do things that are low value. Good example of this, World Poker Tour tournaments, like we mentioned earlier, right? I used to go to every single World Poker Tour tournament when they were in $10,000 buy-in tournaments, when they had a bunch of side events, etc., etc. And that's because I thought they produced good value. But as the tournaments get smaller, as there are fewer side events, or the side events are way smaller, there's just not as much money in going to do it. Which is why, pre-COVID at least, I was going to the Party Poker Live tournaments and sporadic Poker Stars tournaments. Why would I go to those? Because the main events were big and soft. They satellite in a lot of people. And they have a lot of side events. Every day there's a 1K, 2K, 5K side event that's decent, right? So, in those tournament series, you can go and invest a lot of money in a short period of time. Often you can play online poker when you're there too. Like whenever I was in Nottingham in January, I would play all day live. Then I'd go play all night online. Didn't win any money live, but won a bunch of money online, and it worked out. So it's good. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like you have, at this point in my life, I have to be strategic when it comes to choosing what I do, when it comes to things that also put strain on my other relationships, right? And you may not be, maybe you're in that spot, maybe you're not, right? Whenever you're young and you have no responsibilities, you can do whatever you want. Some people are older and they have no responsibilities, they can do whatever they want, which is fine, There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to figure out what you actually care about, and you need to make sure that you are strategic about it. And if I told my wife, I'm going to go play the World Series of Poker main event, and she asked me to logically break it down for her, it would make me look like a pretty big jerk. That's what it amounts to. I would look like a pretty big jerk to tell my wife, I'm going to go spend 2 days in New Jersey playing a tournament where I'm going to make a few $1,000 out the door, and you're going to have to watch the kids for a few days during your busy work time. And you know what, Natty, you're right. She would say you can go. She would say I can go. And you want to know why? Because I'm reasonable. She knows I am going to present her with only logical propositions, right? I actually talked to her about the World Series main event because I thought they would have big side events and stuff around it, which would make a whole lot of sense, right? You get all these people coming to your place, you might as well have a lot of side events. Turns out, well, they didn't, right? And it's just not worth it, right? She expects me to make good decisions. She trusts me to make good decisions. And this is a good example of this. She should expect me to make good decisions, right? Just like I expect her to make good decisions. And perhaps that's just part of a relationship where you have 2 reasonable adults. They're going to do things not just in their own best interest, but in the best interest of everyone, right? Beautiful example of this. I chose to go to Vegas to play Poker After Dark and to record a bunch of strategy segments. Did you see it last night on Poker After Dark? Check it out. Poker Go. I had a 1-minute strategy segment there where I broke down a neat hand. We're going to be doing that on a bunch of the episodes. Was that worth it? That was actually a bit of a strain. I had to go to Vegas for 3 or 4 days. I had to quarantine for 4 or 5 days when I got home. I stuck her with the kids for a week. And we both agreed it was worth it. To be fair, she did not really give a whole lot of input because she trusts me to make good decisions. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. Right? Why does that make a lot of sense? I'm not going to make any money. Well, maybe winning the game or losing the game. But imagine you win, I don't know, $3K in equity by going, but it takes you a week. It's not much money out the door, right? I thought it would be a very good thing for the business, right? So what is the value of that? I'm not sure. We're going to find out. But it's a situation where I think that was worth it, right? Whereas I don't think getting up and going to New Jersey is worth it. So you have to be reasonable and make good decisions. I see all of you typing a million comments here. No, this is not pre-recorded. I'm talking about something that happened yesterday. I mean, come on. This topic really rang true. Good. Really rang true. Good. You've joined the Mustache Club. This is just me not shaving for 2 days. Let's see. You're enjoying my tournament masterclass. Good. Check it out, pokercoaching.com, if you have not. Do it just to test your skills. I test my skills every Sunday against literally the best players in the world. Going to play a random tournament against a bunch of random people is not testing your skills. Let's see. You don't believe Magic the Gathering is a children's card game. Well, fortunately, beliefs don't matter all that much. Let's see. When you go to the card shop and it's a bunch of 12-year-olds playing, it's a children's card game. Can your children play poker? James can high card great. We play War all the time. He can play Go Fish. He cannot play poker. I should start a relationship coach business as well. Just got to realize when you're in a relationship, it's not all about you anymore. Or maybe it is all about you, but if that's the case, it means it's not really a partnership, is it? Can't you just hire someone for what? Let's see. All right. You're enjoying the Negreanu videos. Negreanu, Doug Polk are playing Heads Up, No Limit Hold'em. We've been going through some of their spots. What is Daniel's motivation? I don't know. I would not have taken... I mean, first off, look. Doug Polk's a bit of a troll, right? Everybody knows he is. I'm sure he knows he is. He calls himself the supreme leader, right? Referring to Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is a whiny baby who never won a match. Which is kind of an interesting comparison. Why would you give action to someone like that? I don't know. He got under his skin. You like the 4 agreements. Yeah, Negreanu turned me on to the book, The 4 Agreements, and one of the things it says in the book is do not take things personally. And I think he probably took him personally. And to be fair, guy comes after you over and over and over, lies about you, takes your words out of context. It's annoying. I've had that issue with a few people in the poker community where they will blatantly lie about you to a decently big audience, and it's annoying. It is annoying. Fortunately, though, you have to be strong enough to recognize that if someone is oblivious enough to be blatantly lied to by someone and they think it is true, those probably aren't your people anyway, right? Everyone's not going to like it. It's okay. But yeah, I would not have taken that if I was him. What happened to the read aloud today? I have no clue what you're even talking about. Let's see. Made your first stake yesterday on Stake Kings. What are other reputable staking sites? So, Will, look, I'm not affiliated with any staking site. I will tell you, sorry, Stake King, sorry, you stake, sorry, whatever. You probably don't want to be buying action on the staking sites unless the pro you are buying action for is selling at a really low markup. The thing is, why would they sell at a really low markup? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless they're just doing it for fun. Like what Negreanu did, right? Negreanu sold action to his World Series action, like all of the action the last 2 years, I think. And he sold it at no markup or minimal markup. And he was doing that as just like a favor to the fans, right? I get that. But whenever you're buying on a site like Stake Kings, not only are you paying a relatively high markup to the player, you're also paying some VIG to the site. And if you don't pay it, the pro is paying it, which means they're just going to jack up their price, right? So often you're going to be getting a kind of rough deal whenever you buy through those sites. You're much, much, much better off buying directly through the player. Like whenever I buy action in someone, I am usually just like buying all of their action or the majority of it in exchange for almost no markup. because they're happy to sell the action at a lower markup in exchange for having no headaches, right? Because it's a headache for the players to deal with all this. And you got to realize, if someone is selling you something, they're probably making money on it. And if they're making money on it, it means very often that you are not making money on it. That said, I don't know what markup John Van Fleet was selling at. Let me know. I'll give you my honest opinion. John Van Fleet's a very world-class player. If I had to buy action in someone, it'd probably be him. I wouldn't buy action in him at 1.7, but what would I buy action in John Van Fleet for at the World Series main event online? I don't even know if that's what you were buying action in. John Van Fleet World Series Poker main event online. I think 1.4 would be like high, but still probably profitable for you. Again, this is like one of the best players in the world, right? 1.4 is probably high. I feel kind of bad about buying it at 1.4. I wouldn't buy it at 1.4. I'd buy it at like 1.25. I'd buy all of it at 1.25, right? I don't know. I'm kind of nitty when it comes to buying a markup, though, because there are plenty of opportunities. You don't have to buy something. Just because something exists doesn't mean you have to buy it. Just because a tournament exists doesn't mean you have to play it, right? Just because something happens doesn't mean you have to do it. And a lot of people think that they do. Maybe this comes to, I don't know. Let me just extrapolate here. I'm not trying to berate anyone for any of their decisions. Do what you want. Sports. A lot of people watch their team play every single time. Say you like, I don't know, the New York Football Giants, let's say. Say you like the New York Football Giants. Do you have to watch the New York Football Giants play every time? Do you have to get up and go to their games to watch them play? Do you have to go watch their summer training? Do you have to bet on them? Do you have to participate in daily fantasy sports where you always draft their defense? Do you have to, keep going on and on and on and on and on? Do you have to do any of these things? Why do you even like the football Giants? Why do you even like football? Why do you even like sports? You know what I mean? A lot of people devote a lot of time to sports. Not picking on the New York Football Giants here. Just saying that because my wife has season tickets. But why do people devote so much of their life to watching men bash into each other or women bash into each other, whatever? What's the purpose? I understand that we are dumb monkeys at the end of the day, and we want to have tribes, and we want to have war, we want to battle without actually killing each other. Although maybe we do want to kill each other, who knows? But you get what I'm saying, right? Nate says for entertainment. Yeah, sure, for entertainment. But what's the purpose? Does it actually benefit your life in any reasonable way? And I would venture to say very little. Very little. I knew this one would trigger a lot of people. A lot of people get triggered whenever you talk about what they're doing. It's all fun and good when Jonathan Little talks about his problems. When I start talking about your issues, oh, no, don't you talk about my issues. I'm not trying to trigger anyone here. Look, I'm just trying to help everybody out. But it feels pretty gross when you skip that first game. When you skip watching that first game, right? A lot of people associate or make these things their identity. So many people watch football all day. Some people watch baseball all day. You want to wreck all of your time? Watch baseball all day. If you feel like you must watch every baseball game, you're not going to do anything else. The truth hurts. The truth does hurt indeed, right? And the thing is, you can take some of these things to the extreme, or you can do them minimally. You can really do it in all sorts of ways. Your wife gets free tickets from work? No, she has money and buys her own tickets. To be fair, we haven't even gone in 3 years since the kids arrived. It's kind of hard to take a 1-year-old to a football game. Guess not if you care enough about it. But you get what I'm saying, right? I'm all for having hobbies. I'm all for having fun. I'm all for doing whatever you want to do in your life. But I think my mindset, and I think a lot of your mindset in general here, is that you want to try to progress and better yourself and others. And just sitting on the couch watching men bash into each other actually do you any good? I don't know. Think about it. Maybe you can say this frees up my mind, lets me blow off some steam. It lets me relax so I can be better at work. And sure, I'm all for the idea that you need to chill a little bit in order to be more productive at work. And I understand you don't work all the time. Everybody doesn't work all the time. I don't work all the time. I work a lot, but not all the time. But I think there are probably more high-value things you could be doing. Like me with Magic the Gathering, right? It's probably more high-value things I can be doing because I'm doing it purely for me. Why do you guys have season tickets if you don't watch the games? They trick you. Basically, whenever you buy season tickets, you have to buy every ticket. Well, you have to buy tickets to every game. And you also have to pay a licensing fee where you have to rent the spot for $25K a seat or something, a pretty good amount. But you can sell the tickets at roughly face value most of the time, so you don't really lose much money. But yeah, we don't watch the games. I don't think I've watched a football game in 4 years. Right? You watch football because you get to spend time with your friends watching something we all enjoy. Wouldn't it be great, though, Derek, if you could all enjoy doing something to better the world instead of not bettering the world? Right? Wouldn't it be great if you all could get together and build a project together that helps humanity? Why not do that instead? Yeah, seat fee, something like that. It's all sorts of nonsense they do. But a lot of things try to rope you in. A great example of this is Mario Kart on your phone. My son James roped me into playing Mario Kart on my phone. And they're great at roping you in. They have a monthly membership fee, and if you don't make use of the monthly membership fee, you lose it or use it or lose it. So you feel like you have to play. It's only $5 a month. It's cheap compared to every other thing you can buy in the game. It's they do a great job of roping you in. And it's a stupid game for no reason, right? Yet you feel like you need to play it. I, Jonathan Little, an adult, feels the need to play a child's application on their phone, right? And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I realize they have done a great job of tricking us. Is entertainment without value? No, entertainment has value. Didn't you hear what I said earlier? I said that there's certainly value in chilling and relaxing and decompressing and letting loose and blowing off steam, whatever you want to call it, right? But of course, Outrage has it here. It's all marketing. They want to take my dollars, and in exchange, they're going to give me something, right? Football, since we're talking about it, they're going to put on a show in exchange for you paying for their ads, right? Well, you don't pay for their ads. The ad companies pay for you to watch their ads, and they're making loads of money. Understand, the media makes loads and loads of money off of you, right? You guys hear that drilling above our heads? It's time to stop. Anyway, look, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to have everyone assess what you do and ask if it's actually value. Is the bonding with your son worth it? See, this is what you're missing. There are plenty of other things we could be doing. And also, I play it by myself way more than I play it with him. I haven't played it with my son in 4 months. Yet I've logged in every day. So it's not him playing it, it's me playing it. They've addicted me, right? Let's offend people, let's ask the hard questions. Well, look, everybody doesn't like the hard questions. We're here on YouTube. On YouTube, people want to talk nonsense about people and lie and throw poo on each other. That said, we can rise above that, right? We can rise above that. If you think we can rise above the nonsense, click like, click subscribe. Poker serves no purpose to humanity. Quite possibly. It's certainly way less value than curing cancer or something. I definitely agree with that. A lot of poker players have this issue where they think they're not adding any value to the world, because I think a lot of humans want to feel like they are adding value, right? And when you are a very, I don't even know what the right word is. Predatory. I guess predatory is the right word. When you're a very predatory poker player where you show up, you try to only play with the fish, you don't start games, you're not nice to people, you take your money, you never give action to the weaker players, etc. If you do all of that, yeah, you're probably not adding a lot. There are a lot of things you can do though. Look, I understand poker is a game, right? For many people, it is not a great use of their time, right? But, like I said, it's okay to have hobbies. It's okay to have fun, right? The question is it worth it for you and your life? For a lot of people, they should not be playing poker. Great example of this, say you have a significant other, 2 kids, and a job that requires you to work 50 hours a week that pays you $200,000 a year. And you have a whopping 6 hours of free time each week. Should you spend that time driving to the casino, playing 1 to no limit, and going home? It's like, probably not, right? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. So, you got to ask what you're really trying to accomplish. And again, everyone needs a hobby. I'm all for having hobbies. I'm all for enjoying yourself. I'm all for really enjoying yourself. I mean, I have it written right here. What do you care about? If you care about going out and enjoying yourself, having a party, say okay. But most people are not in a situation in life where they need to go do something that doesn't really benefit them in a whole lot of ways. To some extent, when you're already crushing it, like that's when you get to start going out and goofing off to some extent. But a lot of people do it in the reverse order. They have nothing going on and all they do is goof off. And if you have nothing going on and all you do is goof off, that's not going to work out for you in the long run, right? If you have a ton going on and you're crushing it, to some extent, you now, quote unquote, deserve to have goof off time. So anyway, I don't know. Do you trust Ignition Casino for online poker? What does that even mean? What kind of a weird question is that? Do you trust them? Would I trust them with what? 1 day's worth of buy-ins? Sure. With all of my money? No. Is there no value in seeking your own happiness? So long as your own happiness... Sorry, push me off the screen. So long as your own happiness isn't at the expense of someone else's pursuit of their happiness. Poker makes people happy and creates community. There's value in that. Look, I'm not saying there's no value in these things. Why are you people not listening to what I'm saying here? Listen, I have never said there's no value in this quad fives. Okay? Please do not take my words out of context. I'm a big stickler for taking words in context, because otherwise you're just lying. Nobody likes a liar, right? Well, some people like liars because, liars cause excitement because they're frauds, right? Frauds cause excitement. Please do not take my words out of context. I've never said there's no value in poker. I've never said that you should not have hobbies. I've never said that you should not watch football. I've never said you should not not play Magic the Gathering, right? I've never said you shouldn't do these things. So please, please, please don't take my words out of context. All right. We are a product of the customers and users of YouTube. People buying ads are the customers. Yeah, people are the products indeed. Hello, Matt Affleck. Hope you're having a great day. I think you just need to realize, though, that at the end of the day, you get to decide what you do. And whenever marketers, whether it be Magic the Gathering card companies, football teams, Mario Kart, WSOP, these people want you spending your time and money with them. That's their goal, right? Jonathan Little's goal at pokercoaching.com is to get you to go to pokercoaching.com and sign up and give me a little bit of money to teach you how to play poker. That's my goal at the end of the day. My goal is to help all of you improve at poker, right? And in exchange, you're going to give me a little bit of money for it. $1 a day, less than $1 a day, whatever it is, it's cheap. So, understand that that's the goal. Is that cool with you or is that not cool with you? If you're cool with spending 18 Sundays a year, or however many it is, I don't even know, watching football, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you're cool with it. Ask yourself, would I rather have an extra 18 days to do something else, whatever that is? Maybe you want 18 extra days of hanging out with your family. Maybe you want 18 extra days of going and hiking or going camping. Maybe you want 18 days of working on your business, trying to better the world, right? Just make sure whatever you're doing is actually beneficial. And, it's tough because I realize things like watch football all day is like kind of a big commitment, whereas things like play Mario Kart while you're sitting on the toilet is not a big commitment, right? It takes a few minutes. So could I be spending those few minutes better? And the answer is definitely yes. The answer is definitely yes. Anyway. It was a rant. So, Will, whenever you're buying action in people on any site, you need to make sure you fully understand the markup, otherwise you're just gambling. Again, nothing wrong with gambling. Hey, you want to go to the casino and play baccarat or craps or roulette? I don't care. Do whatever you want, right? But if you care about money, it's probably not a great idea. So why did he not play the World Series of Poker? Who? Why didn't I play the World Series of Poker? We already talked about this. You showing up late? Why? Because it's not worth the effort. Long story short. Do you think people deserve relaxation? I don't think people deserve anything. I would take the word deserve out of your vocabulary. In my mind. Maybe that sounds a little bit harsh. We give tough love here. We don't sugarcoat things. I don't think people deserve anything. I think we should be very, very happy and honored and feel an immense amount of gratitude for all of the things that we have in our lives. Because we all have a lot of great things. If you're watching this today, it means you have a smart device like a computer or a phone. It means you're probably sitting in air conditioning somewhere. You probably feel pretty nice. That's something most humans have not had over the course of humanity. And we are quite luckier than most of us recognize. Okay? So what, do we deserve relaxation? I don't even know what that means. Come on. To be fair, I don't know how to relax, so I don't know. I don't relax. I'm trying to work hard for all of you and for me. You think chess is a good hobby? Have you ever played it? I played a lot of chess as a kid. Do I think it's a good hobby? I think it's a good problem-solving game. That chess is a good example, right? Chess will teach you how to think about things. But would I try to push my children into being a professional chess player? Absolutely not. Would I have them play chess? Sure. James plays chess on his phone already. Have you ever been colluded against? Yes. Would you trust ACR with $500? I used to trust them with about $12,000 every day until they banned me. Turns out they don't like it when you speak openly and honestly, but that's okay. You're allowed to ban people for any reason you would like. All right, what else do we have here? A lot of people feel entitled. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think a lot of people think they're supposed to get good things. I've always approached life from the point of view of I expect to get nothing, and anything I get more than that, I'm pretty happy with. That said, I think you need to try to get the idea of I deserve things, I should be getting things, etc. I would just take those thought processes out of your mind, if at all possible. Because then you just feel entitled. And when you don't get something that you feel entitled to, you get mad and bitter and angry. Why do you think some people look down on poker players? People look down on everybody. Well, some people look down on all sorts of people. Take lawyers, doctors, right? People complain about the doctors making too much money. People complain about the lawyers, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people complain about everybody. No one is going to like you all the time, and that's A-okay. All right, I have to go. I have a webinar starting in like 10 minutes. If you're a poker coaching member, we have a homework webinar starting now. We're going through a neat 20 big blind spot where, I'll spoil it for you. When someone bets the flop, you're not supposed to raise with anything, which is kind of neat. A lot of people think you're supposed to be just getting your money in 20 big blinds deep. No. Sometimes you just call. All right. Enjoy yourselves. Make the most of your day. Take a look at yourself. Take a look at your life. If you're not thoroughly happy with your life, consider changing it. You're allowed to change. You can change. 10 years ago, you can bet your rump that Jonathan Little would have gotten up and gone to New Jersey. Probably not enjoyed his experience. And, maybe won the World Series, maybe not. But present-day Jonathan Little does not need that in his life, and he recognizes it. And to be fair, I'm not trying to say I'm like some super enlightened human, because I'm not. I'm not 100% happy with my life. But I'm definitely happier with my life today than I was 10 years ago. And there's a lot of value in assessing what you do and trying to figure out how to make the most of your experience. Because look, We don't have a whole lot of time on this earth. You might as well enjoy your time. You might as well do what you want to do as long as it's adding value and benefiting the world. How old am I? I don't even know. Goodness. Time flies when you're having fun. 35. 35, does that sound right? I'm an old man. I have a birthday coming up. December 22nd. I guess I'll be 36 then now, won't I? Listen to this, how much December is wrecked for me. The 19th is Thomas's birthday, my 1-year-old going to become 2. The 22nd is my birthday. The 24th is James's birthday. Then we have all the other holidays thrown in there. December's busy. Anyway, have a great day. Make the most of it. All you can do is enjoy your experience. Try to add value and realize we're only here for a short amount of time. You might as well make the most of it. Have a great day. Good job. Good job. Good job to me for showing up on time and being here for you. There's a lot of value in just doing what you say you're going to do. Good luck. Don't be down if you're doing things that you think may not make the most logical sense, right? It's easy to look at yourself and say, oh my God, I'm squandering my time. I do that to myself all the time. And strive to improve. Develop good habits. Improve your life. And we'll continue progressing together. I'll see all of you again Wednesday morning, bright and early, 9 a.m. Eastern Time for another episode of A Little Coffee. If you like this, click like, click subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/pokercoaching. We have lots and lots of stuff there. That's it.